Mary Walton, the woman who fought pollution with invention. New York City, late 19th century. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, bringing progress and prosperity, but also a darker side. Cities choked with smoke from factories and locomotives, and deafening noise from elevated trains that rattled through neighborhoods day and night. While many accepted these as unavoidable consequences of progress, one woman in New York City decided to tackle these urban blights head-on, using her ingenuity to create solutions for a cleaner, quieter environment. This is the story of Mary Walton, a pioneering inventor who developed some of the earliest anti-pollution technologies, a brave innovator who dared to quiet the cacophony and clear the air. Details about Mary Walton's early life are scarce, but she was living in New York City during the 1870s and 1880s, a period of intense industrial growth. This meant air pollution. Smoke and soot from coal-burning factories, locomotives, and homes filled the air, leading to respiratory problems and dirty cities. Noise pollution, the newly constructed elevated railways, while a transportation marvel, created an unbearable racket as trains thundered overhead, impacting the quality of life for residents and businesses below. Mary Walton experienced these environmental assaults firsthand, and unlike many of her contemporaries, decided to do something about them. Concerned by the pervasive smoke and pollutants spewing from industrial chimneys and locomotives, Mary Walton developed and patented a system in 1879, U.S. Patent number 221880, to mitigate this problem. Her invention aimed to divert emissions. It directed the smoke and pollutants from smokestacks. Trap pollutants. The diverted emissions were then passed through water tanks. Reduce airborne particles. The water would trap many of the harmful particles and chemicals, preventing them from being released directly into the atmosphere. Allow for disposal. The pollutants could then be disposed of via the city's sewage system or other means. This was an early and innovative attempt to control industrial air pollution at its source. The noise from New York City's elevated trains was another major urban problem that Mary Walton addressed. The constant clatter and screeching were disruptive and stressful. She set up experiments in her own basement to find a solution. In 1881, she received U.S. Patent number 237422 for a method to deaden the sound of elevated railways. Her system involved boxing the tracks, encasing the iron rails and their supports in a wooden trough or casing, using sound-dampening materials. The casing was lined with cotton and filled with sand or other absorbent materials. Coating with asphalt or pitch. This further helped to absorb vibrations and reduce noise. Her system effectively absorbed the vibrations and muffled the noise, making city life more tolerable for those living and working near the elevated lines. Mary Walton was not content to simply patent her ideas. She actively worked to see them implemented. Selling her inventions, she reportedly sold the rights to her elevated railway noise reduction system to the Metropolitan Railroad in New York City for $10,000, a significant sum at the time, and royalties. Advocating for her solutions. It's likely she had to convince skeptical city officials and railway companies of the efficacy and necessity of her inventions. Operating in a male-dominated sphere. As a woman inventor dealing with industrial technology and large corporations, she would have faced considerable challenges and biases. Her bravery was in her persistence and her ability to successfully commercialize her environmentally focused inventions. Mary Walton's inventions are remarkable for their early focus on what we now call environmental protection. At a time when pollution was often seen as an inevitable price of progress, she recognized the detrimental impact of industrial byproducts on public health and quality of life. Applied scientific principles and engineering ingenuity to create practical solutions. Pioneered concepts in emission control and noise abatement that were ahead of their time. She was, in essence, an early environmental engineer. Mary Walton's work, though perhaps not as widely celebrated as some other inventors of her era, had a direct and positive impact on urban environments. She is remembered as a pioneering female inventor who tackled significant urban environmental problems. An early advocate for pollution control and noise reduction. A successful entrepreneur who saw her inventions put into practice. An example of how individual ingenuity can address societal challenges. Her inventions, though specific to the technologies of her time, represent an important early step in the ongoing effort to make cities healthier and more livable. Inventor, problem solver, and early environmentalist, Mary Walton looked at the smoke-filled skies and noisy streets of her city and imagined a better way. With determination and ingenuity, she developed practical solutions to lessen the harsh impacts of industrialization. This was Mary Walton, a brave innovator who fought for a cleaner, quieter world, one invention at a time.